Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one. It's going to be a story time video on when I got food poisoning. I never thought that I'd actually be sitting here making this video because I didn't think that it was that big of a deal. The person that inspired me to make this video was Matt, aka Alright Hey, here on YouTube. Hey boo if you're watching. I was talking to him on Snapchat and he was saying that he got Bali belly from when he was in Bali. And how he's just like lost like 3 kilos over like the past week or whatever, just like something crazy like that. So I messaged him back and I'm like, well, you know, it's actually funny that, you know, that happened to you because the same thing happened to me. I lost about 30 kilos from getting food poisoning. And he's just like, what the fuck happened? Like, can you please make a story time video about this? And I was just like, okay, fine. I just wanted to point out, guys, I don't know shit about trigger warnings. So if you are easily triggered by eating or being sick or like anxiety, PTSD, anything like that, don't watch this, okay? I really don't know how to take this video. I mean, I can kind of laugh about the situation now a little bit better than like, you know, like a year ago. If I start rambling, I do apologize, but there is a lot that I need to get through. So it was October of 2015. So 2 years ago now, oh my God. So it was October 2015, finished work, going out for gym with one of my friends. It was like a cafe off Little Burke Street. And we ordered chicken parmesanas. Like we both ordered chicken parmas, you know? So whatever, like we start eating, mind you, it came out in like 5 or 6 minutes. So that was red flag number 1, but I was just like, oh, like that was so quick, like, oh my God, we can eat quick now. And so I started fucking like shoveling that shit down. And mind you, my friend that I was with, he ate the exact same thing and he was completely fine. But of course I had to cop the one that fucking is gonna give me food poisoning. But anyway, prior to this, I've never had any problems with my stomach in my entire life. My brother, on the other hand, cops it hard because he has so many allergies. I feel so bad for him. I was always the one that was like, oh, like I'm so glad I don't have a bad stomach, you know, because I can try this and try that. And I was always going to new restaurants and, you know, going here and going there, and I would just be like a free spirit. Like I would just like do everything and anything just for the sake of having that experience, if that makes sense. And I've never had food poisoning before either. So after dinner, we decided that we're gonna go to the beach. Like it was like, oh, like, let's go to the beach. Like it's a really nice night. It's like summer. I think pretty sure it was October, so it was like spring, summer, yeah. So we were driving down St. Kilda Road, past Flinders Street, past the Arts Centre, and then I was driving, mind you. I started feeling so sick. Oh my God, I can't even explain to you guys. Like this whole video is gonna be TMI. I'm just gonna give you that disclaimer right now. A lot of people are gonna be grossed the fuck out. So I felt so sick. I was literally about to shit my pants. I'm not even joking. I had to clench my ass as I was driving to the nearest like building, art center. I think the art center was where I ended up like just stopping the car and like running out. I was like, bitch, wait here, and I like fucked off like 20 minutes. So I get back to the car and I was like, oh, you know, like I think I'm fine. Like let's just keep going to like the thing because, you know, well, that was weird, because I've never had it before. I never knew what the symptoms were. So we keep driving down St. Kilda, feeling sick once again. Fuck, okay, you need Macca's, stop at Macca's. Macca's, there's always toilets, no worries. Macca's, McDonald's, Mickey D's, whatever the fuck you call it, whatever. So we stop at McDonald's and then I walk out and I started throwing up like on the footpath, like just pure, just everything coming up. And that's when I knew it was fucking food poisoning. Mind you, I was throwing up on the footpath and no one was stopping to like help me. No one even looked at me twice. People just walking straight past me as if I was just like, I don't fucking know. A lot of people on fucking drugs in St. Kilda, so maybe they thought I was on drugs, I don't know. We decided, well, fuck, it's food poisoning. I was hysterical, mind you. He had no idea what to do. He's like, do I call the doctors? Do I get you to a hospital? And I was like, bitch, take my phone, call my parents, like get them to pick me up, whatever. Mind you, this was like the second or third day. It was like, it was so messed up. Anyway, I was like, bitch, just like call my parents, get them to meet us where you parked your car, which was back in the city at QV. And then my parents will pick me up from QV in their car and drive my car and me home. So that's exactly what we did. He drove my car to QV and we went through probably 5 red lights in the city and I was like, I don't give a fuck what, because at the time, right, I just wanted it to stop. I was like, just get me out of here. I don't give a fuck what is happening. I don't care if I run 4 red lights and get $1,000 fine, like just get me home. Like I'll pay it. I'm happy to pay it. I'll take the points, no worries. Just confiscate my license for 3 years, whatever. At that point, I was just like, get me the fuck out of here. Anyway, so I get home, I was obviously sick for like the rest of the night. Then 1 to 2 weeks later, I was still feeling really shit. So about a month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. I was about 40 hours negative in my sick leave for work when I was working at a makeup counter. And I was honestly waiting for them to fire me, but because it was a health issue, they couldn't. So anyway, once it hit about 4 months, I was like, this isn't normal. This is not normal. Like, something is not right. What the fuck is going on? Mind you, as soon as this all happened, my anxiety back up in the fucking air. Like, my mental issues that I have now stem from this one night. So talking about this so openly and so vulnerably is scaring the shit out of me right now. But anyway, so at 4 months, I went to see a gastroenterologist. I went to get my blood tests done. I had a colonoscopy, I had a gastroscopy, just to rule out every single thing that it could be. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't celiac. It was to make sure that it wasn't celiac. It was just to make sure that everything was fine, right? Everything came back clear. My blood levels were fine, my mouth, throat, fucking stomach, everything was fine. Everything was fine. There was like no reason why I should be feeling like this. So I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, my gastroenterologist basically said, okay, look, if we don't find anything, then it is nerve damage. And this is gonna take about 6 to 12 months for it to heal. And there is nothing that we can do to cure it or to like anything like that. So that pretty much put everything into perspective for me. So basically when I had food poisoning, the food, like the bacteria damaged the nerves in my stomach, which then caused me to feel sick after anything and everything. So the way that he described it, I'm pretty sure this is how it goes. Our nervous system attacks the weakest point in our body to relieve the anxiety or to relieve the nervousness. For me, my weakest point was my stomach at the time, which is why I was so irritable, if that makes sense. I was anxious because I was feeling anxious, and I was like anxious about going to work. I was anxious about social situations. So basically I stopped eating normally. I didn't eat many meals a day. I ate maybe once or twice a day. Now coming from an Italian family, that's not a thing. You're eating like 4 meals a day. They're all huge carbs and you know how it is. And so I would basically force myself to eat because I knew that if I constricted my diet so much that I would feel even worse because I'd be losing the nutrients that my body needs so I can fucking function. And then fast forward to about month 7, I went to Europe. Now this was a mess, but a learning experience to say the least. I went with my auntie, Danny, you're watching this. Hey Zio, if you're watching. So basically we went to Italy, we went to visit some family in Calabria. I was pretty much on my own because my auntie was the only person who knew how to speak English. Everyone else in the town didn't, like no one. I met 2 people that knew how to speak broken as English in 2 weeks. So as you can tell, it was hard for me to be able to like wrap my head around it. And anyway, so basically, because I was on my own, I was anxious because I was on my own. I was scared that it was gonna happen again. And while I was there in Italy, I knew no one, I couldn't speak the language. So at that point, I was the skinniest I have ever been in my life. I was about 73 kilos. Hold on, let me get the pounds up, 1 sec. So I was about 73 kilos, which is 160 pounds. Whereas before I got food poisoning, I weighed about 103 kilos, which is about 227 pounds. So after about 8 months, I decided to finally quit my job at the makeup counter that I was working at. And because I quit my job and now my job is basically here at home, it has definitely made social situations a lot harder because I'm so used to being at home in my safe place that for the longest time, I couldn't really socialize with people. I'm going off on a tangent now. This is basically just how like the mental side of things are going. And what also didn't help was that I didn't have any friends. Like last year was the worst year of my fucking life. 1, because of this, obviously I had to deal with all of this. 2, because I had no friends. I had my friend Alana, my best friend Alana, and that was it. I had no other friends. I had no other friends in the industry. I had no other friends around me to kind of break me out of that, you know, that kind of, oh, like I'm too scared to go anywhere kind of thing. Obviously, because I was still feeling sick for that 8-month period. That is why I used to find it so hard to go out and to be a normal fucking human being, because every single time I would go out and be a normal human being within that 8 months, I would be sick as a dog after it. So it's kind of like history repeating itself. It's kind of like I kept getting food poisoning over and over again. And that's why I lost all of the weight, because my body wouldn't hold on to anything. And I'll insert some pictures as well, like before and after, but even in the after photo, you can tell that I look dead. Like my eyes, there's no fucking life to them at all. And that's why I was so scared about losing my job at Mac as well. So I quit before they kicked me out. So that's why I think this year has been, progress-wise, the best year of my life, because I've come so fucking far. And now I'm starting to get back into the swing of things. So my metabolism has regulated. It's kind of fixed itself up now. Now, mind you, I was always like the big kid. I was always the fat kid in school. And so it kind of was, now that I look back on it, right? Now that I'm looking back, it was a blessing in disguise for my metabolism, 100%. Like now my metabolism is a lot faster and I can keep weight off a lot easier. Whereas before I was just always gaining weight, like always. It was a mess. I am currently in therapy for this, and that's like, I have no shame in admitting that. It's okay to not be okay, but if you are okay and you're happy and you're healthy, don't think that you need an excuse to not be okay. Does that make sense? Like, don't look for reasons as to why you should be upset about something. Don't give into those thoughts. It's very, very easy to be influenced. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dermatologist. Oh my God. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm nothing. I'm just a person that had something fucked up happen to them. So the reason why I wanted to make this video was because I feel like it could help people, because when I was sitting in my room, I remember being like, not one person understands what this feels like. But anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed this storytime video. I apologize if it wasn't as funny as like some of my other videos, or you know, it wasn't as educational, but it's a fucking storytime video. What do you expect? I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.